Right, we're rolling. Right, okay. Stop.
Alright, welcome back to MKF. Okay, so welcome back to Mark 5 Design, or MK5 Design. Today we're going to be showing you how to make a gun stand out of acrylic. We've just shown you how it works on the machine. You set it up on the computer, send it up as a DXF file. We're using K40 Whisperer, which is really good software actually, it's RIP software, to send to your laser cutter from the computer. So the computer will draw it in whatever file it is. As long as it's a vector file, you can export it as DXF and it'll go out to the printer and be cut. So today what we've done is we're doing a Colt 45 replica stand. We're doing it in 5mm clear acrylic. As you can see, it's cut out quite well. Some pieces there. We've got all these pieces here. We've got that, and we're missing a piece. So one more piece, right? Still in the laser cutter. So we've got these three pieces. Simply slot together like that. When the film comes off, they go together and form a stand. Okay, sturdy as anything. So what I've done, I've designed another stand here, but it's not quite as good. It's made up, cobbled together with some old MFC bits and a bit of polycarbonate for the front I've had for absolute years. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of this stand now and I'm going to test it in the holder to see if it actually works. Because some of these guns are a little bit different. They're a little bit different in shape. So therefore the replicas vary depending on what make you buy. So I'm going to take the lid off now. I'm just going to show you this. So what I'm going to do is put the gun in the stand and see if it works. So what you'll find on these ones, these replicas, they have like a chamber there, which is when you send your blank out, what it does, you send your blank and then you pull that back and it pushes it backwards and kicks it out for the next one, I think. So that's going on there like that. And you can see there's a couple of holes in there so that it fits nice and snugly in that stand like that. Okay. So when I put this on here now, it should, in theory, fit really nice. There you go. It's quite nice on there, doesn't it? So it's made, it's actually designed to fit right underneath. Tiny little slot in there, so as you bring it to the forefront there, it should sit really nicely in that little divot there, and it is exactly 5mm thick, so as it sits, it's perfect on that stand. What I'll do, I'll just turn this round so you can actually see what it looks like. So I think that looks really nice, that, if you're into that sort of thing. But anyway, it works really well. Just thought I'd go over a few things with you as to how it works. And obviously, when the guy gets his stand, he's going to have to take all the film off and everything. So it should be good.
Right, so what you can see I'm doing now is I've just put the piece of plastic inside, so put the acrylic into the laser cutter. I'm just setting it up with the software now, so making sure that it's all registered on the X and Y origin, making sure that there's enough room to cut what I need to cut on it, like the front of the stand and the 2 feet. Just going to zoom in on the screen a little bit and show you now what I've got. It's not very clear, so I apologise for that in advance. You can see that it's clearly 1 upright, 2 feet. On the software, that's the RIP software, I'm using 2D design in the background to actually draw it. You can use AutoCAD or anything like that as well for these applications. So the laser's cutting it out now. I'm cutting it on 4.7mm a second at roughly about 28 power on the machine. I'm going to run it through twice, so I'm going to do 2 cuts at 28 power on the machine. I'm going to run it through at 4.7mm a second. It is 5mm acrylic, and the laser is only a 40-watt tube, hence it's called a K40. So there we go. That's a little bit of an insight into setting it up and getting it all plotted in the right place. Well impressed. Nice cozy environment to work in as well.
Right, the top tip here now, I'm not actually joking about this. Now, on my laser cutter, you'll see that I've got some cardboard in the bottom. Can you see that? So basically, what it is, this cardboard here basically acts as an absorbent. So all it is an old cereal packet turned that way. If you were to put the acrylic, you were to put this onto here, then the aluminium plate around it would actually make it too hot. So the laser would spin back at you. So, for example, the laser hits the metalwork when it goes through the acrylic, and it'll bounce back and it'll burn it because it'll heat the metal up, and the actual acrylic will just melt, and you'll get a burn on the edge of the acrylic which goes brown. You don't want that. So basically, what I do using this acrylic, so it's like standard clear acrylic, but it's actually cast acrylic. None of that extruded crap. And basically what I do, I collect cereal boxes, tell my missus to put them all away, and then these go in there. So I'll put them down like this, I'll put them in there, and I'll always use this because it really does dissipate the heat. So a little tip of the day for you, if anyone's got a laser cutter out there that wants to know how to use one a little bit better. It's only a small one, but I try and do everything I can to make it better. Some of the expensive ones are a lot more efficient, shall we say. They have different grates, so you can put your acrylic onto it, and it doesn't actually generate much heat, because therefore there's just little bars that go across. Whereas this one, it's a little bit different because it's got like an aluminium case, so an aluminium panel which sits in there with tiny little slots, which I think is bad. What I had to do as well, if you look at one of my earlier videos, I mean, I only paid 250 quid for this machine, but obviously little add-ons like this here, what I've done, I've wired it up to the lamp, so it goes through to the lamp, so whenever that comes on, it blows air onto it as well, so it cools it down. So all these little tricks, hints and tips, if you're thinking about getting a laser cutter, have a think about that first. So I'll go over a couple of things as well. When I bought the laser, there was a little problem with the circuit board there. So what I found out, if I put a pole in, obviously pushed it down, that circuit board, and grounded it, it works. So no more problems. A few little hiccups with this, obviously this little boom here, or gantry you call it, in engineering terms, that wasn't even square, so I had to square it all up. And also, you get little problems in there, so in that little section there where that laser is, that's a mirror. The laser comes from the back out into the mirror and shoots across there into this. Now this can get absolutely rammy and filthy, okay? So inside that, you need to clean that. And what I would suggest, a cotton buds, or something similar to the sort of thing that you stick in your ears, earbuds, and a little bit of methylated spirits, and mix it into that and just clean it all off. Don't try and adjust these adjuster knobs here, because you want it right. This here, another problem is that obviously when it hits this can get dirty, and underneath, just here, right, it gets really rammy. So what you have to do sometimes is take the actual laser out by unscrewing it, clean it off with methylated spirits, and do this every couple of months, because I find that when you leave it on and it's caked in absolute crud, it doesn't work, because it dissipates the laser and it's never as strong. You have to run it at 35 to 40 as opposed to 20, so it's kind of shrouding the laser, if you like. Another thing with these lasers is that there is a little runner that runs back and forth across the gantry. Okay, so what happens is those little runners come loose and they're on a little thread there, so you've got a little socket screw in there with a hexagon insert, so it's like a worm screw, and you can turn that and you can tighten it up against that rail. And what I found, I was getting a lot of wavy lines, and what it was, that thing was actually twisting as it was moving down the piece. So a couple of little tips there. And I did another video of this showing how it was all linked up briefly. Obviously I've got a little stainless steel tank here with some antifreeze in it. I've got a pump, and what that does, it pumps the antifreeze round the system, through the laser at the back in again, So that is actually quite warm at the moment, but it's got sort of like, I think it's summer coolant and winter warm. So just a little addition to this, I do advertise on eBay, and you can find my stand under NVFC 26. And basically I sell these for about, I think about £9.99 each, but obviously acrylic's quite expensive these days, so it's actually quite difficult to get something that's cost effective really. I've designed a few of these over the past sort of like month or two, but this is the most common one. So I think people like this because it's specific to the rep, to this rep, which is 45. I think it's made by Simplex, I'm not sure, but they're really nice rep actually, a blank rep. So yeah, fits really well with that. That goes hand in hand with that. But to be fair, it's quite nice sometimes. I've done a little twist on it as well. I'm not making these, but if you would like to go see me, check the eBay sales page out. I do these ones. Okay, I do a lot of doll's house stuff as well. So there's lots of different things on there. You wouldn't think so, but I do. But anyway, this thing here that I took out of earlier is a little box that I fabricated through a few bits of MFC. I don't know how it's going to come out this actually because I'm very close to the camera. But what I was going to say is little standoff brackets in there. So if you wanted to do something a bit fancy, get some panels edged. Whole cupboard panels basically these are. So what you need to do is get a couple of standoff brackets that look really nice. If you want to do something yourself, that is, make a wooden frame really easily, back on it, front on it, edge the front panels, put it all together, and then obviously when you put that on there, it fits really nicely on those little pegs. And I think that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You don't really need to break the bank, you don't need to buy one of my things, it's just a little idea that I'm showing you. If you want to display something, the only thing really that will be really a major cost is probably standoff brackets, which you buy in packs of 4, and these here, so nearly not lost my screws then. So this is polycarbonate, it's pretty good. I've pre-drilled the holes so they work. Okay, so basically little frontage to it. If you wanted to, you could even illuminate it. So I'm just going to push it back a little bit there, coming off. Or you can put little pieces of acrylic on the front so it stops it falling off. But this is just going to be panel mounted, wall mounted, base mounted, shelf mounted. I mean, I've got it in my bar here and it's absolutely brilliant. But just obviously, just to be aware, I put some screws in the front because I don't want people like getting hold of it. And it's not real. Obviously, it's not real. It's a replica, but still, you have to be very sensible with these things, as you know. And a lot of people do stupid things with them, and you won't want to be in that category. So keep it locked up, keep it in something like that. Kids can't get their hands on it, keep it away. But all in all, quite a nice little thing to do. You could put some LED lighting inside as well, like I've done round the back there. So the sort of stuff that you can see behind me that I've done with my guitar, you have a quick look at that over there. Can you see that? Yeah? So I use quite a lot of LED lighting around my bar. I've got a couple of things looking around me that I've made on my laser cutter. But that's pretty good, that guitar over there. But you could use something like that, sort of inside there as well. Just to illuminate it, you could put a little John Wayne sticker as well, which would be really good actually if you did that. But obviously, we're going a little bit off the cuff now, but I think there's loads of ideas there. But like I said, if you want to go and purchase one of these, go to NVFC 26. That's my user ID on eBay, and you can buy these little stands. I will make bespoke ones, but I don't want fag packet sketches. I want a proper drawing. So I want, like, obviously I'll need the diameter of the holes, the centre, the size that you want. I can only cut a maximum size and a minimum size, so if you send me an inquiry I can do that. But obviously, yeah, it's just something for the hobbyist, just to display certain items off that they like the look of. I absolutely adore the look of that, hence why I made 2 stands for it, which is why once I made this one on the laser cutter, I thought, well, do you know what, someone might actually want something like this as well. So I tried it and I've sold a few. I've not sold a lot, I've not sold a lot, trust me. It's basically pocket money. I've probably made about 35 quid this year, 40 quid. But yeah, people like him anyway, so that's I've had some really good feedback from him, so thanks very much for watching.